I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
welcome to Game 3 of the Twilight League Finals matchup. Perky Valley Twilight League, brought to you by Sports Fanbase Network. I'm Tyson here with Ethan. Now, obviously, last night, Ethan, we got a pretty bad blowout, pretty long game. What do you think Collegeville needs to do, again, maybe to just wash the taste out of their mouths with that game? You know, they just had a terrible time all around, and so.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting because it was at the end of the game that Lansdale added on a ton. But I don't think those runs mattered as much. I think the most important part for Collegeville is to start this game off on the right note.
And on the right note, they might be able to, as Kyle Feaster leading off for them, as he always does, going against Pete Moore from Lansdale. And the first pitch here, called high.
It's a bit interesting. We'll talk about pitcher in the bottom half a little bit later, but Pete Moore leading Lansdale, the second most innings this season for them. He's been solid.
So fly out goes to right field, and that's going to be caught. The first out of the game. Please continue, Ethan.
Yeah, absolutely. Moore, 3.79 ERA, 4 regular season starts, and once again, 24 innings, giving them length. That's the second most on the team behind Tyler Leonard.
Interesting, and of course, Tyler Leonard, he pitched during the semifinal series. It'll be interesting if we see him maybe tomorrow for Game 4. Also, an announcement before the game is that Jason Hughes of Collegeville won Pitcher of the Year. So, good pitchers on both teams. As that pitch to Austin Edgett. It's going to be called for a ball. Of course, noticing here that last game, of course, we had Jason Mills, who pitched and DH'd. This game now it's Lancelotti, who's pitching and DHing. However, I think you noticed something interesting on the website before this game started, right, Ethan?
Absolutely. Joey Lancelotti didn't pitch during the regular season. Me and you were both looking before the game. This can't be true. He didn't pitch in the semifinals either, and of course hasn't pitched this series. So Lancelotti's first appearance on the mound is going to be coming up in the bottom half. Should be interesting.
3-1 count here for Edgett. Now I'm ball low, and they're going to call first walk there. Yeah, it's interesting. At least Mills, right, he had stats. Like, clearly pitching, that's part of his game. Lancelotti, at least so far, we have not seen, so it will be peculiar to see how he will do. Although, again, batting third here. Hopefully he doesn't tire himself out on the base paths right before he starts pitching.
Absolutely.
That's going to be ball one.
And Edgett again during the regular season, he only hit .207. But able to take a fair share of walks too, so that's not uncommon.
Swing and miss there from Lancelotti. Right, what is on base percentage? Because at least, you know, that's always what we think of with Kyle Schwarber, right? Now, Edgett doesn't hit as many home runs, but to me.
See, 207 for the batting average, but all the way up to 368 on the on base, which well above average.
Yeah, so definitely in that.
Means he's walking about 15% of the time, which is a pretty astronomical rate. Obviously a smaller sample size in our brief league this summer, but
still very, very good, and
still very good
sense why he's
absolutely.
Still, you know,
batting so high in the order, yeah.
Say absolutely. 2-2, now for the foul ball.
Once again, Lancelotti trying to help his own cause here.
Absolutely. Moore looks over once. Comes set. And low pitch for 3-2. Now, I imagine one thing for Collegeville they want to do differently is they're going to try to get more to have a higher pitch count than they did for pitcher last night, Mills, where he started off.
Well,
super economical.
I think even so far, you look at this Collegeville lineup, they've been doing a great job staying disciplined, taking pitches. Great start they're getting out to with that Edgett walk. Right here, a couple of tough pitches to lay off by Lancelotti. Look at that, he draws a walk too.
So 2 walks in a row, both full count walks. And maybe not the best start here for Lansdale, as of course Cody Clark, cleanup hitter, comes up to the plate.
And it's interesting, Pete Moore during the regular season, he only walked 6 batters. You already got a third of that. Only one out in the inning.
First pitch called strike.
Clark's been one of their best hitters, too.
And a grounder. It's going to go off the glove of the third baseman. No one's going to score, but everyone's going to be able to advance. It was a decent distance that Cavagnanos was going to have to cover there. And so no surprise, that one's just unable to corral that one in.
Yeah, we look at the replay here, and honestly, if anything, Lansdale getting a little bit lucky as that ball spills off the glove, but it stays in the infield. Could Collegeville have scored there? I think so, but why risk it?
Absolutely. I mean, you do have one out, so of course a grounder now could be a double play as Colin Jensen comes up to the plate. And takes the first pitch.
And especially with the command issues so far for Moore, I think that makes it so you're a little bit more conservative there.
Okay, with that, as we get another ball in the dirt there, gonna make this 1-1. Another one in the dirt there, 2-1. Now I know.
Loving these at bats so far, by the way.
Fancy great. I know Moore throws fastball, cutter, change, and a curve. Wonder which one of those is the one giving him trouble. It's hard for me to tell. The fence in our way, exactly which one's been dropping. And the sun's not helping either as you get to a 3-1 count.
One looked like one of the off-speed offerings there, but he's been missing low a lot. That's what I've noticed especially.
3-1 is the count. And line drive right over the shortstop's going to get right to the left fielder. Again, just going to be a nice, easy single right to second. But there's going to be the first run of the game, this time by Collegeville. And it seems as though the team who hits first is the one that starts off stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the replay here. Jensen on the 3-1 pitch. He knows it's going to be a strike, or at least he's pretty sure it's going to be. But once again, Lansdale getting lucky. He was hit right to the left fielder, only allowing one to score. It hasn't been a pretty inning so far, but still a chance for Moore to get out of it, relatively unscathed.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about this last night where, you know, if that was hit softer, would that have maybe given a better opportunity for, in that case, Lancelotti to score? Lancelotti has some decent speed, but obviously one out, there's still a chance. As the first pitch, swing and a miss by Hutchinson.
That one's in there. I think what Moore's going to have to do is, I think he's been missing with a lot of the secondary offerings. If you're him, just get back to the fastball. And it's easier said than done. You got to locate it well, obviously.
Yeah. Because
you're still in a pretty dicey situation here. But if you can get that fastball strapped in, throw a lot of pitches off of it. Tough spot, though. It's tough here when you're in the first inning trying to get a feel for things, and one you can't locate until you have a lineup that maybe they're not at fault for a depressing game last night, but a team that was out of it, they're motivated to remedy their finish last night.
Absolutely. And somehow that pitch was not called for a third strike. I thought that was right in there.
Got a great view, Tyson. If only the umpires stood right down the third baseline.
Yeah, it's true. Now Allen's going to be a bit outside for ball 2. More set. The pitch. Going to be outside again for ball 3. Got another 3-2 count here. And already Moore's thrown 24 pitches in this first inning.
Yeah, not what you want when you have someone that's very hot, very close to the top of the chart in terms of innings. You don't want him throwing too many pitches early on. He's going to have to figure out a way to get out of it. Good pitch.
So swing and a miss. Struck him out. That is Hutchinson. Maybe finally was able to find something with the off speed there.
Yeah, it looks like he got him on the outside pitch. And if anything, a little bit fortunate for Moore. Haven't seen Collegeville chasing a ton today. You get a big strikeout, and once again, as I said before, you get an out here of any type, unless it's one at the plate, come out unscathed.
Now Luzin's onto the plate. First pitch looking as a strike.
First pitch is so important, and as I was saying before, getting right back to the fastball.
And a fly ball going to be hit basically right to the center fielder. That's Zinmeister, who's going to be able to catch that for the last out of the top of the first. So only one run. That is 3 runners left on base. You imagine Collegeville, when they got into that situation, maybe wanted to get a little more out of it.
Oh, my goodness, absolutely. That was a situation that was looking really good for them. If you remember, the base hit, the 1 RBI base hit they had to left field, it's hit right to the left fielder. It would have been tough to send a second runner, and they didn't. That's a spot there. Get a sac fly, especially with 1 out, and with 2 outs, you got to come through with a hit.
As now we'll see Lancelotti going to have to take off the helmet, put back on the glove, and get ready to pitch. We'll take a break here quickly, but before we do that, just a quick shout-out to my grandmother who decided to come by and watch in person. So thank you, Graham, for doing that. Always love seeing you. Now we'll take a break here on the Sports Fanbase Network.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fanbase Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
And welcome back to the Perky Twilight League final. Bottom of the first here between Collegeville and Lansdale. Collegeville able to get 1 run at the top, and now, Ethan, as you've seen Lancelotti throw some warm-ups, obviously different than in game, but what do you think so far, considering no stats?
He's got a good arm. As I was about to say, usually this is the time where I'll explain to all of our listeners and viewers, what's Lancelotti got? What's the book on him? Got no book. Story's going to be written tonight, though. First appearance, pitching debut in the Perky Yeoman Twilight League. Oh, boy.
And first pitch, fast and high. You know, hopefully he'll dial it in.
Just a bit inside.
I mean, it's very different once a batter steps in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, there's a second
It's 2
one.
straight.
And make that 3.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to keep a counter. Put it on the
Yeah,
bottom
we use
left
one
here,
of
you
our
know?
devices as a pitch counter and one as a high in inside.
Oh no.
Think he lands one here?
I think so. Nope, never mind. All right. So 4-pitch walk for Lancelotti.
It's about the easiest walk you'll see right there for Zinmeister. 4 pitches all in the exact same place. None of them close at all. And if you're Lancelotti, you just got to know things can snowball very fast. Obviously, at super, super early, but that's not a sign you want to see.
I don't know, maybe not the easiest. I mean, Zinmeister, he did have to dodge a little bit. Get back. He didn't have to stand completely still as Tice comes up. Okay, Dylan Tice last game had 3 walks and 2 singles.
You also have 417 during the regular season. That impress you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, modern baseball doesn't like batting average as much, but I will say it is hard for me to wrap my head around new stats without having a batting average as a bit of a baseline.
I think they both matter. You talk about batting average on base percentage. Because in some sense, walks are sustainable. In other sense, they're not. A walk relies on a lot of cases the pitchers you're facing, how they're pitching you, what their command's like. If you can hit, you can hit. Not saying there aren't guys that are better at drawing walks than others, but I think it would be hard to argue one's not more of a skill than the other.
Absolutely. As a second strike there, maybe Lancelotti is
Dialing
found a
it
spot.
in.
2-2 is the count. Pitch here, stealing. Zinmeister throw from Riley, going to go under and around the second baseman, but no further damage. Okay, 3-2 count.
It's interesting. What you didn't see last night from Lansdale is a lot of stolen bases, even when they were taking command of the game in a big way. But why not try one early there in a game that's close? So far, trying to get that run in.
Do you think potentially the sort of erratic pitching we've seen from Lancelotti, see a pitch there fouled off, you think that maybe influenced their decision where they're saying, hey, Lancelotti, he throws hard, but he throws sort of all over the place, so it'll be tough for the catcher to bring the ball in and make a good throw in time?
Absolutely, and I think it's as much of a mental thing for the pitcher too. And Lancelotti, he's trying to dial it in. A lot of times when you're a pitcher and you're not able to throw strikes, that's walk number 2.
3-2, and walk there.
Yeah, but as I was saying, when you're a pitcher and maybe the command's not there, you're trying to dial it in, might slow down the delivery a little bit, just focus on the plate. A lot of times you're not going to be focusing on that runner as much, sometimes not at all. Why not take your chance there? I think one of the biggest things in terms of stolen bases, you got to pick your spots.
Right.
Great job right there, Zinmeister.
Now Cavagnaro up. 2 men on, no one out. And a bunt by Cavagnaro right to Lancelotti, who turns, spins, throws it, and they're going to call safe at third base.
That's an interesting play. I think you rule that an infield hit for sure, but I don't love the play by Lancelotti going to third. Consider the circumstances. We look at the replay here. Give Cavagnaro credit. It's a beautiful bunt, and it would have been a tough play to make at any base, but I think we would both agree it's easiest to make that play at first, and he certainly had one there.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine, part of the idea, of course, Lancelotti being the everyday shortstop for Collegeville is he just had more confidence about fielding the ball fast and being able to get it out quickly, but
it's unquestionable the easiest outs at first, though, and I think when you're Lancelotti and the command's been shaky at best, get yourself a sure out, because at the end of the day, what you don't want to happen is Lansdale comes up and they put up a 5 spot.
Right now, Bruno, who has hit a home run in 4 out of the 5 games that Lansdale's had in the playoffs so far. Not exactly the guy you want with bases loaded. He swings and misses, now takes another strike.
Well, there's
strike number 2.
There's 2 sides to that. I mean, Bruno, 3 of his first 4 at-bats, he struck out. The other one, he flied out. Got hot in a game that wasn't super competitive, but against pitching last night that certainly was struggling for Lansdale, he had his struggles too.
Absolutely. Pitch here. Swing and a miss. First strikeout of the day for Lancelotti.
Anthony Bruno making me look good there. Not by him doing something that's helping his stats, but once again, Bruno, a ton of power in that bat, but also prone to the strikeout, and a huge strikeout by Moore there. Saw by Lancelotti. You saw Moore limiting the damage on the other side in the first inning. Let's see if Lancelotti can do the same.
I mean, so far hasn't given up what I think would be officially ruled a hit, walk, and then fielder's choice for Cavagnero, so just needs to get it more in the zone. Foul tip there, gonna be 1-1.
I think these last couple of pitches for Lancelotti, too, it seems like he's more dialed in, he's more ready to attack the zone. And obviously, when you're in a spot like this, you kind of know you have to do that.
Absolutely.
So you wonder if it's him just kind of getting settled into the game, or him knowing, when you have your back against the wall, bases loaded, that's what you have to do. But he's doing it. I mean, he's relying on the fastball. He's throwing it in the zone. And as I was saying when he was warming up, he has a really good arm.
Yeah.
Explosive arm. Fastball comes out of the hand really well.
As the signs again, now the 1-2 pitch. Grounder right to Jensen, and that is going to be out number 2. It's going to score a run. So it ties up the ball game, but gets Tice out. And now run on first and second, so maybe a little bit easier for Lancelotti to get out of.
It's interesting as you look at the replay, Tice, as you said, holding between second and third. You wonder if he almost strategically wanted to stay between the two bases to almost interfere with the running lane. You could have seen a double play potentially there. That would have ended the inning potentially.
Yeah, I imagine the thought was if I make Jensen take as long as possible, then he can't throw over. So definitely an interesting idea there. His first pitch is strike. Now the second, going to be swing and a miss.
Because in Tice's case, you know there's going to be an out on the play.
Yep.
Love to prevent too, and I think that's potentially what he did there.
Yep.
Got a tie game though. In Lancelotti's case, you just need outs here because at this point, this was looking like it could be an ugly inning.
And now a fly ball to right field. Jogging for it is Feaster. I believe it appears to be a foul ball.
Players are a bit confused for a second, too. We're both running around the bases and then stopped once they saw that one trickled out foul.
Absolutely.
But as I was saying before, if you're Lancelotti, the context given, you were in a situation, no outs, bases loaded, you happily take a ground ball out there, even if the run scores.
Absolutely. 1-2 pitch.
Look good from here.
Saying a little bit. I'm assuming low. An interesting talking from the Collegeville bench. Now another one held for a ball. Again, hearing sort of the disagreements from Collegeville.
Yeah, obviously you're going to want the strikes for your guy, and that's just a manager backing up his players. There's been a couple that from here have looked close, but
That one in the dirt. That one pretty clear.
yeah, you obviously don't want to make too many harsh judgments from here. Of course, one of the umpires explaining to us yesterday there was a controversy.
Absolutely.
Where
The DH rule.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen it. First the pitch.
And a swing and a miss. And the second strikeout there for Lancelotti.
Great pitch by Lancelotti there. Both teams limiting damage in the first inning through a lot of base runners. We come back, we'll explain to you the funky DH pitcher rule. Came into play last night.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
And welcome back. Top of the second here, 1-1 game between Collegeville and Lansdale. And Nick Tadera up for Collegeville. So, Ethan, can you explain sort of the controversy that we had last night with the pitcher/DH rule?
Yeah, absolutely. So Collegeville's done it a lot. They'll have their pitcher also DH in the lineup. Classic case of Shohei Ohtani influence, if you will. He's done that in MLB. But what the case is here is that the pitcher in the DH spot, while they're occupied by one player, they're still two different entities, meaning you can change out the DH and put in a new player to hit for the pitcher, but even though they're in a sense, or what's really happening is that even though you have somebody pinch hitting for the pitcher, that pitcher can stay in the game. And if any of our viewers were also tuning in last night, we thank all of our viewers tuning in here on Sports Fan Base Network. That took about 20 minutes to sort out.
Yes, it took a long time, so as you get a 3-0 ball here, and it's going to be a walk for Tadera, who has been one of the guys with the highest on base in the playoffs. So last night the case was instead for Mills on Lansdale. As you know tonight, Mills is playing shortstop. He was pitching last night. In about the fourth inning, they put in a pinch runner to substitute the DH.
But he thought it was a courtesy runner, but they play by MLB rules, obviously. If you watch Major League Baseball, there's no courtesy runners. It's a competitive league.
And wasn't exactly sure what else it could be. I do have limited experience, and so that was my first assumption. But, yeah, so that was the rule, and it took some time just because grounder here right to the shortstop. Going to get it to second, then get into the first out. And get the second out, so it's going to be a double play done by Lansdale.
A beautifully turned double play right there by Mills. As soon as that ball was hit, you knew it was going to be a tough play to get the lead runner at second. So we look at the replay here. Look at this. The ball is hit here right to Mills, the shortstop. It's a tough play with the runner chugging the whole way. But Mills knew that's the out you need to get, the lead runner. It's the most important one. He was able to get that, and then, of course, the challenge from there is can you get the runner at first, and they did. It was a close play, but once again, a beautiful turn at second by Tice.
Now Feaster up. Going to take the first pitch for a strike. Now the second one as well. I believe the umpire also stated that there are a couple of rules that are a little bit different than the majors. And so I was just sort of figuring out whether or not that one counted. And it's swing and a miss there.
Great pitch.
Great curveball. And that's going to be a quick inning here by Moore. So with that, we'll take another break, and we'll go to the bottom of the inning and see if Lancelotti can do the same.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
welcome back to the bottom of the second. No hits, no runs for Collegeville there, so still one game as Moore had an 8-pitch inning.
Yeah, that was quick, much quicker than our first 2 innings here, and it didn't look like it early with that easy walk drawn by Tadero, but after Riley grounded into the double play, that really set things in motion.
Absolutely. Now Mills, who's coming off of a great pitching day himself, is going to be the leadoff batter for this inning. Start the bottom of the order for Lansdale. First pitch here, called strike.
Better start by Lancelotti. Simple to have that, just get a called strike in there. Remember, the first 4 were up high and tight.
Second one good too. I know some pitchers, I shout out myself in that case, start off slow.
Yeah.
But again, it's tough when Lancelotti, we have no data, so we don't know if that's just typical for him or whether or not, maybe he's shaking off even more rust as someone who hasn't pitched in a while.
I mean, I personally was super impressed with how he handled himself later in that inning, squeezing himself out of a tough situation. So credit goes out to him there. Great pitch.
Catching Mills looking. Off-speed pitch there for 3rd strikeout of the day for Lancelotti.
Nasty pitch by Lancelotti, came over the middle, but Mills unable to pull the trigger.
Now Sperling up to bat. It's a foul ball into the net. On the right side. Fouled into the dirt. Make it 0-2 count, so Lancelotti really getting ahead of Lansdale this time around.
That's a very welcome change for Collegeville.
Looking for his pitch, shaking off a lot. Not going to step off. The pitch, fouled off again by Sperling. Sperling's certainly someone who seems to have long at bats, don't you think?
Absolutely. Successful regular season. Hit 300. Guess what his on base was?
420?
Try 507.
Jeez, all right.
Bonds territory.
There you go. Now grounder in between the pitcher and the second baseman. Lancelotti not really able to field it cleanly, and
It's a bad fielding play.
That's certainly an infield single. I mean,
if you're the second baseman, Hutchison in this case, you have to take charge of that ball. We'll look at the replay. The ball keeps rolling, but Lancelotti, it's not effective for him to keep chasing this ball. Second baseman could have been in position to charge that ball, and it's not an easy play, but I think it would have been easier if him looking forward rather than Lancelotti having to turn his back to home plate.
Absolutely. Now Greenberg coming up. Hits a grounder right in between second and short, and that's going to be another single for Lansdale.
First pitch hitting right there. A lot of times you're not going to see a better pitch than the one you're getting on the first pitch of that bat.
Absolutely. Was there a little bit of confusion there between Hutchinson and Luzins? Because
that would have been tough to get up the middle, though, I think.
It looked like it seemed as though as soon as the ball was just getting past Luzins, he jabbed at it.
Yeah.
He thought, oh, you got it. No, you got it. And then no one in the end got it.
I didn't catch that. It looked like to me it was just hit up the middle, but it's again more trouble afoot for Lancelotti.
And now a bunt attempt by Zinmeister, no good. Umpire going out to Lancelotti. The foul ball hit the catcher, so umpire is just giving the catcher a little bit of time. which I always wanted my catchers to do if it hits the umpire. Just like, probably don't need it, but make him say he doesn't need it. Don't assume he doesn't need it.
Talking about Zimmeister here, though. Oh, wow. I thought he got him.
Yeah, pickoff, no good there.
You think they got him there? It looked like the throw might have beat him.
Throw might have gone there. I don't know if the second baseman
You don't have to
did.
tag it. That's
yeah.
fair.
And certainly it was close because Hutchinson, he was sort of trying to get around Sperling not to run on top of him.
He definitely went there.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And so 0-2 is the count.
It's one of the things we can tell a bit easier from this angle.
Yeah, this is
That's
maybe
why they appeal. That's the benefit.
maybe they should appeal to us instead. You know, we can put it on the replay. But
Strike three.
you know, yeah, that's the thing. We might be biased to get the game going, as the first two of the series have both been over 3 hours.
You think? I just want a good game. Oh, we tried again. Oh, no!
So no one there now. Edgett not going to be able to make the throw.
That could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a throwing error on the part of Lancelotti. I mean, it's interesting to me he went over a second time. The first one was close, but he got back in time. You would think that almost serves as, you know, a wake-up call to Sperling, who was able to advance to third. If that throw was not on line of the center on the center fielder, chance he ends up scoring.
Stealing base, Greenberg trying to advance, but he fouled off. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have the play on, I mean, obviously you're not going to get the pickoff, but as anyone knows, a pickoff to second, there's no necessity to throw the ball. So maybe you just hold off for a second, make sure someone's there first, and then if no one's there, you can sort of just pump fake, step off. If someone's there, then you can throw it over, but yeah, Lancelotti with the pitch. Swing and a miss by Zinmeister, caught by Riley, and so that is going to be strikeout for Lancelotti.
More clutch pitching by Lancelotti. We all know he hasn't looked super sharp today, but he's pitched big in the spots he's needed to pitch big. That's a big pitch right there.
Ties up the bat. Walked his first time up, same thing as Zinmeister. Pick off the first.
He's really thrown over there a lot.
Absolutely.
Not specifically to one base, but that's his third pickoff attempt. What, between the last 3 or 4 pitches?
Yep. And a line drive to right field, and that is immediately going to be caught by Feaster to end this inning.
Once again, we said it before, Lancelotti, little bit of a Houdini act, not super sharp, but he's limited Lansdale to only 1 run.
So we'll take a break here, get back to the top of the third in the Sports Fan Base Network.
Hi, I'm Marty Weissman, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-264-0932 or 866-PAYS.
welcome back to the Twilight League final. Leading off here is Austin Edgett.
Yeah, and we said it before, or I said it before, Edgett's kind of drawn a lot of walks during this regular season, and he drew one in his first at-bat here. Look at the line for more so far. He's already given out 3 of them.
It appears we have a timeout here. Greenberg maybe got something in his eye.
Definitely
No,
take his time to sort that out.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe
It's probably one of the positions you don't want to play with something in your eye.
I think that might be the worst position.
Well, on behalf of others, if you're a pitcher, that might not fare so well either.
I guess I'm just thinking, who's more likely to get a ball moving at them at high velocity?
Well, if in Edgett's case, I'd assume you'd either want your pitcher to have full vision and then also not to have any animosity towards you. I'll just put it that way.
I guess so. First pitch here. Be high outside. I mean, you never know. Maybe a pitcher, he might do well without clear vision, you know, like Steph Curry when he said, I think it was 2018, 2019 where he's like, "Yeah, I actually need glasses. Can't really see well on the court." And everyone was like, "No way he actually means that."
Well,
right?
to give you a same sport comparison, longtime MLB veteran Tommy Pham, he's been in the big leagues a while. He's had a lot of issues with vision over his career.
Absolutely.
I think it's fair to say he's done better when he's been locked in, though. I think he actually had something pop up early in the season, and he had a stretch just recently where he was very hot. Rose his average from the low 200s to the high 200s.
Yeah, certainly.
Playing with Pittsburgh this season.
Certainly something that precise, like hitting a baseball. Definitely need your vision, as Edgett, you've talked about, has good vision. 3-2 count for him. And he's going to draw another walk.
You got to think that's a mistake pitch by Moore right there. 3-2 is the most critical count you're going to see, obviously, both as a batter as a pitcher. And an easy walk there for Edgett. We talked about throughout the game how he's been able to draw the walks. That's not a walk you need to draw. That's a pitch you see right out of the hands. It's pretty significantly off the plate.
Absolutely. Now Lancelotti. Sort of pop fly. Looks like it's might fall between right field. Zinmeister with a sliding catch, calling off the second baseman at the last second.
And not a great jump from Zinmeister there. I believe he got a little bit of a late break. If you look at the replay, but we're not going to be able to see it here, but good closing speed by Zinmeister, able to get to this one. I think look at that right there. He just started coming out at the end. It was a super late jump, but a good recovery by him, a good sliding catch, and that's always going to be an easier play for the outfielder to make. Don't have to turn your back to the ball.
Absolutely. Now Clark off the bat with 1 out. First pitch in the dirt.
It was funny when we showed the replay. I said, well, we're not going to be able to see the break. See the camera pan to him, and I was like, oh, actually, we will be able to see the break. That's just how late the center fielder broke to get to that ball.
Foul ball.
He broke super late there.
Yeah, he definitely broke super late there, and luckily with that foul ball, didn't hear anything else break. As again, the parking lot right behind the stands. Edgett stealing. Ball definitely got there first. They're going to say the tag definitely got him too.
Oh, my goodness. What a tag laid down by Dylan Tice. We look at the replay here. You'll give it to the catcher, Greenberg. The pop time was effective, able to get the ball out fast. But look at this throw. It's way high. Tice jumping up to save the throw. Make the tag at second. A great play by him.
And now, I believe the count is 2-1. Make it 3-1. Of course, it's hard to hear the call when someone stealing. You're usually just paying attention to the stolen base. Foul ball there, 3-2. So now you can guarantee no matter what, it's 3-2.
You got a bases empty situation here, and Moore's starting to settle down a little bit too, I think. Obviously, it was a tough play, a little bit of miscommunication between center fielder and the second baseman on that nice catch.
Now a line drive a little bit to the left of the right fielder. That's going to go down as a single for Clark.
Good piece of hitting by Clark there, going the other way with it. Didn't put a ton on the ball, but was able to locate it pretty well. Looping into right field.
You think maybe he might have been, as we look at the replay here, just cut and dry single. You think maybe he might have been a little frustrated going from 1 out to 2 outs out of his control. And now maybe having to be more conservative.
Think the batter's frustrated?
Yeah, just because,
Clark?
now he has a smaller margin for error with
Well,
with
I don't know.
doubling the outs.
I think that's the type of thing as a baseball player, you know what happens. It's oftentimes good to take your chances because, what percentage of the time on a ball that stays in the park, let's just say on a hit that stays in the park, are you going to score from first base? It's probably about 20%. Now do that percentage from second base. It's probably about 75 to 80%.
Now fly ball here hit by Jensen. Going to be in between the right and center fielder. Center field calls off. Zinmeister calls off, and he's going to make the catch to end this inning.
Well pitched inning by Moore right there. Probably his most stress-free inning.
I don't know, 8-pitch inning last time. I guess he
Started
did have
it
a
off
double
with a
play.
walk though. You have a runner on with nobody out. It's close. It's
Say.
close, but two pretty relatively stress-free innings from Moore. So we go to the bottom of the third.
And we'll take a break here. Come back for bottom of the third here on Sports Fan Base Network.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Welcome back here to the bottom of the third. Lancelotti still on the mound. One more hit for Collegeville, no more runs. First pitch strike there against Cavagnaro.
Lancelotti settled down a ton. And what's interesting is if you looked at the situations, the high stress situations in general that both of these pitchers have faced, assume we got more than 2 runs on the board combined.
Absolutely. 0-2 now the count. Lancelotti looking for his pitch. Into the dirt, and we're going to wait for new baseball here. Just a quick announcement for everyone's favorite team. Eagles able to tie it up 7-7 in the first quarter against the Bengals in our first preseason game.
Good old Tanner McKee touchdown.
Think they ran the touch push for him?
Tanner McKee, absolutely not. Not in a preseason game. No reason to.
Why not? When else is he going to practice it? Against real defense.
Well, I guess a debate is if tonight's a real defense. Has a good strikeout there by Lancelotti. He's settled in big time.
Yeah, swing and a miss there. 5th strikeout for the night, yeah. I mean, technically, the Bengals were ranked 29th last season. In 2023,
so there's one
we were
worse.
ranked 30th. No, it's 3 worse, right?
In 2023, yes, the Eagles were ranked 30th.
No, but isn't it 32? Isn't it 32 teams? There's a line drive right between shortstop and third, and that'll get us to stop talking about football here. As Bruno Gets his first hit of the night.
Yeah, Bruno known more for his power, but attacks. I believe the first pitch he saw the at-bat there. Center cut fastball. Easy swing, lines it into left.
No, Evans. Up to bat. First pitch just a bit outside. Ball one. I think you're the first person I've heard describe a fastball down the middle, center cut. I like it though.
Really?
Yeah, I never
It's a
heard
pretty
that.
common term. I guess it matters what broadcast you're listening to. Different different broadcast teams have different, terms and stuff. That's
Yeah, they pass ball there.
easy pickings. Do you think that's a pass ball? That pitch bounced pretty significantly in front of the plate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it sort of depends on how much the catcher sort of was able
As a
to
catcher yourself, you don't
get
think
it.
you would put that on the pitcher?
I think
Don't want to defend
catchers-
yourself, your position a little bit?
I think catchers would, but the scoring's not determined by the catcher. I was never a catcher. I never wanted to be, so I have no bias towards them. So I was just going to say, if it touched the catcher, they might say it's on him for not blocking it. But there's another line drive right above the third baseman, and they're going to wave around Cavagnero. Throw here, and it's going to be cut, and that's going to be the second RBI of the game. So that pass ball really mattering. As you mentioned last time, getting on second, so important for getting scored on a single like this.
Great piece of hitting there by Evans. Once again, I think he attacked the fastball. They've been able to make some contact here for Lancelotti. The way he was able to get out of a lot of jams was swing and miss. It's been missing a little bit lately. But we did get Cavagnero to start the inning.
Did. Now Pollock up, who he struck out before. First pitch of ball. Second one here. Then strike. It's going to be a delayed steal by Evans. Haven't seen that one lately. And works to perfection.
Again, they've been using that. It's been a bit of more of a point of emphasis for Lansdale today, the stolen base, and they're picking their spots well.
So 1-1 is the count. Now 1-2, and you can still see. Hard to tell from our point of view with the camera, but Evans even trying to figure out his timing to possibly steal third. So, again, sort of doubling down exactly on what you said, where stealing is clearly emphasized today. And now a line drive. It's going to land right in front of the right fielder, but not going to score. Evans on third, Pollock on first. That is the third single in a row given up by Lancelotti.
Yeah, they've been timing him up for sure. If you look at the send here, the hold rather, it's the most interesting part of this play, I think. It drops in front of the right fielder. And yeah, I think that's the right decision. He had the ball right in his glove, ready to make the throw if he needed to, and it's a pretty straight shot.
I was a little surprised. I thought the right fielder might have had a better chance to it, but again, there's a reason they're on the field and I'm not, as you see some bullpen activity. Pickoff move there by Lancelotti, but some bullpen activity. Number 10 for Collegeville, Mike Strechay. I mean, that's my best guess.
Strachet, yeah.
Yeah,
Go with Strachet.
Strechay. He appears to be warming up.
Fortunately, we don't get a pronunciation guide before the game, so we do our best.
There's a foul ball here. You know, one of the softball games I did, they actually gave us a sheet
That's awesome.
with certain names that they acknowledged were hard to say, and I was like, oh, bless you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely helps us do our jobs better.
Absolutely.
Another tough spot here for Lancelotti. We've talked about it before. He's had a ton of traffic.
And hide inside there for ball one. 1-2 count
You allow
on Mills.
7 combined walks and hits through 2 1/3 innings as balls hit to the second baseman.
Yeah, we're gonna get they're saying out at second on the transfer, and I think that is correct, but that is going to score another run for Lansdale.
Yeah, and eventually that's how it happens. If you put the ball in play and you have runners on, odds are the runners are going to score. And Tyson, as you just said, that's the call I was awaiting. What are they going to call at second base? I thought there was a chance they were going to call safe at second and obviously safe at first, but able to get the out at second.
I mean, that's the thing, because guys, they don't always go all the way into their glove to get another grounder here straight to the first baseman, and that is going to be the last out of the inning. They don't always take the ball straight out of the glove to do the transfer. Sometimes they'll just sort of drop it out, and it can really look like just a drop ball there. But with that, Lansdale scores 2, takes the lead. We'll take a break here, come back at the top of the third, see if Collegeville can respond.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Top of the fourth as the bottom of the third, Lansdale taking a 3-1 lead. They scored 2 of their 3 runs in the bottom of the third. And as we saw, Lancelotti's been able to pitch out of a lot of tough situations. But once you get runners on and, you get runners on and have any contact in the field, makes it tough to prevent run scoring there.
Absolutely, of course, we saw a bit of a mix-up also comes to the pickoff, so maybe just some miscommunications in general on this team. But Lancelotti hasn't looked too bad as for someone who does not have any stats so far in this league.
No, not at all. A good arm and an explosive fastball. So go back to Pete Moore here, the top of the fourth. He settled in big time. I mean, the top of the first for him was rough. Both of us were thinking this could be pretty big explosion as that ball is hit to left. Left fielder coming in. He's able to make the catch for the first out of the inning.
Loves the fundamentals there from the left fielder. Takes his first step back, holds, hears in from his teammates, starts moving in, and then once he sees it, starts really running in. And that's exactly what you want to do as an outfielder.
Pretty routine play for Evans. A soft hit ball. Able to retire the first batter, and as we were saying, Moore starting to settle in. In the second inning, he faced the minimum, walked the first batter, but got a double play right after. A lot of 2 base runners last inning, but able to wiggle out of trouble as well.
Absolutely.
It's now a 1-1 count to lose ends. First at bat, he flied out to center. That one's popped up out of play. 1-2.
Didn't hear anything when it came to a car there.
Yeah, I think all of us, whole production crew, as well as me and you, all kind of, I'm not even going to say selfishly, we're all just hoping there's not foul balls that get hit over that big, beautiful net we see on down the first base line.
I don't think that's necessarily selfish. I mean, who wants to deal
that's
with
what I said.
the
It's
insurance
not
claim
selfish.
there,
I think it's, well, I'll put it to you this way, reasonably selfish.
There you
Selfish in
go.
a reasonable way. So now the 2-2 delivery. Hit off the bat.
Yeah, a little check swing there, just hit right off the inside.
So a foul ball here. Again, we'll have a 2-2 count.
And Luzins flew out to center last time up. See if he can keep it more on the ground this time.
Set, so now the 2-2. Got him!
Well, certainly more on the ground there as he watches that ball go right by him for a strikeout.
A little bit of a delayed call by the home plate umpire, but give Pete Moore 3 strikeouts. A clutch pitch right there, 2 gone in the inning.
I don't necessarily mind the delay, especially if you really get the punch out there.
Yeah, it was a pretty emphatic punch out by our home plate umpire.
I mean, is it really baseball if you don't see a good punch out? I mean, that always saddens me when I see an MLB. It's just boring.
That one popped up. Second baseman, first baseman converging in foul territory. Second baseman able to make the basket catch. Still enticed. He's had a couple of nice plays in the inning. And a 1-2-3 inning for Pete Moore. He's looked really good as of recent. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Go to the bottom of the 4th. We welcome you back in here. Sports Fan Base Network. It's the Perky Twilight League Finals between Collegeville and Lansdale. Tyson, games 1 and games 2. Not exactly great games, I think you would admit. Today, got a bit more of a contest, 3-1.
Yeah, this is what we want to see. I mean, even if it's a high-scoring game, you want it to be even on both sides. 2 blowouts, certainly in baseball, not exactly the most fun thing to watch, even if it's your team. Well, actually, I won't say that because watching the Phillies blow out the Braves was actually a lot of fun. But in this case, where we have,
Bullets are fun if it's your team, I think.
Yeah, say here when we have,
at least occasionally,
we have no, we have no affiliation. We want to see both teams do well, and we want to see a competitive game here.
Completely neutral, non-partisan.
Absolutely, and so yeah, glad to see some
non-baseball
competitive.
Partisan.
So there you go. Yeah, I was to say. I mentioned that's one of the 3 things you never talk about on air. Well, politics and
religion.
Of course, no swearing.
So it's Zach Greenberg, number 9 hitter, into the plate. First ball is a called strike. So no, you were talking about before, emphatic punch-outs. Wanted to get this in. Last half inning went by a bit too quickly. Is that one, I guess, a bit low.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Angel Hernandez?
Oh,
Let's do a little hand raise.
Do
you
I?
Go like down to up.
Do I remember? Of course I do. Yeah, no, I
remember that?
Yeah,
he didn't do a punch out. I don't know if that's one of the reasons that he wasn't super liked, as that one is pretty far inside, 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, missing 4 calls in a row in the playoffs, that's probably more important than how you punch out a strikeout.
Would agree. That one hit to the third baseman. Double clutches, throws to first. Got him. An interesting play. Jensen didn't really have control of the ball. He had a double clutch on the throw, but got it there in time for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, I mean, good fielding there, able to move over, and obviously has a strong enough arm for the double clutch. Personally, not the biggest fan, just like getting the out sooner rather than later, but as long as it's effective.
Only got him by half a step. It's Now we go back to the top of the order. It's Rob Zinmeister for already his third at-bat of the game. Isn't that kind of nuts? In the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, somehow game time-wise hasn't been too slow, but also guys haven't been getting around when it comes to the order. I mean, 5 hits, so, and a few walks, so you'd expect certainly getting around.
Once again, Zinmeister at the plate, already down 0-2. That one's low. Definitely see if Lancelotti can put him away here. Love to see him limit kind of the damage. It hasn't been too much by the walk. Only issued 2 free passes today compared to 4 by Morez. Got him there.
Yeah, great off-speed pitch there, freezing Zinmeister. Yeah, I mean, all things considered, been doing very well. Again, someone with no stats when it comes to his pitching. Wasn't sure what to expect, but
it's a reasonable position.
Been doing well.
Don't know what to expect when you have no data.
Say, 6 Ks.
That one is hit up in the air into right field. Should be caught and is caught, so quick inning there by Lancelotti, I believe his quickest of the day. Go 1, 2, 3, and we go back to the 5th.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Welcome back into Sports Fan Base Network, Perky Omen Twilight League Finals. Now Kevin Riley into the plate, the 9th-place hitter. First pitch grounded to third. Routine play, and they got him at first.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he held there to swing at that curveball. The tough part, of course, the spin, the different trajectory. It can be tough to just get under it correctly, or I guess hit it squarely correctly. And so you're going to get a lot of those sort of rollovers or, an easy fly out.
Got him to chase on that pitch, too. It was certainly out of the zone, so I think we've both kind of touched on it, but Moore's looked a whole lot comfortable as of late. That ball's in there, able to get ahead with the fastball. That's not something he was doing early.
No, I mean, both pitchers now have a 8-pitch inning.
That one is popped to the right fielder. Frank Pollock, another easy play. 2 gone.
So the thing is, Lansdale here, while leading, neither team has really done much in terms of taking out the starters.
And I don't think there's any need to. I think both pitchers have pitched relatively well. Obviously, Lancelotti has struggled a little bit more, but I think he's kind of conducted himself well in tough situations.
Neither team has done well taking out the other team's starters.
Oh, you're okay. I misunderstood your point. Correct. Yeah. I think I would agree. I think that's kind of what I just said. My fault for missing that. Once again, 2 outs in the inning as Austin Edgett comes to bat. Now 1-1 on him.
Question is, will he walk again? He's got 2 walks today.
It's a good question. He has 2 walks today. It was a pretty impressive caught stealing Not by him, obviously. You can't impress if you get caught stealing. And that one hit to left field. Trying to go to Tui. Took a couple steps past first base, but will stop right there. So a single for Austin Edgett. I was going to say he got caught stealing his second time up, but he's reached all 3 plate appearances.
Yeah, I say that was really a good defensive play there by Evans. As you can see, he sort of catches it as early as he can. Maybe another step needing to be taken, and Edgett would have had an easy ride to second.
So a single by him, and a big swing right there by Lancelotti. My goodness.
Maybe now
He wanted to send that one back to King of Prussia.
I agree with that, and I think right now it seems that they're trying to be extra aggressive and trying to swing at the off-speed pitches. Maybe they think that's where the money is.
It's another aggressive swing right there, but that pitch was not one he could do damage on. So quickly 0-2 on the pitcher trying to help out his own cause. More sets. Now fires. Foul back.
I mean, Lancelotti, not in the last game, of course, but in the first game, did hit a home run in the 4th inning, so maybe he's trying to repeat it there, tie it all up for himself.
I was going to say, if he can do that, it would make a pretty big dent, not just on the ball, but the score. Once again, look good from here, but that might have been a little bit outside. Maybe significantly outside, so 1-2. 1-2 pitch. That one fouled back too by Lancelotti. A good battle.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you can tell, certainly, with a lot of catchers is when they hold it after a pitch, that's when you know they think it's a good ball. If they sort of snap at it and then immediately sort of bring it in to throw, it's either guaranteed strike or it's a guaranteed ball. And, of course, in that sort of situation, 9 times out of 10, that's a guaranteed ball because you could sort of tell. It's at least low, maybe a bit outside, and so.
Not exactly that you're showing up the umpire, but you definitely want to lawyer him up a little bit.
I mean, it's part of framing.
If you will. Absolutely. Now here's the 1-2 once again. Swung on and hit. That ball is high and far and gone.
And Lancelotti able to do what we said, tie it up for himself. And lucky him, that being called fair. I thought that was so close to being foul. It'd be tough.
It got out in a
off.
hurry, and we talked about Lancelotti helping his own cause. Did it right here.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell off the bat it had the power. Again, it was just going to be, is it going to be on the right side for Collegeville? And certainly right enough to tie up this ball game.
Moore had been cruising before then. But now after the home run, this game tied at 3 as Clark draws in.
Now, I wonder for the catcher Greenberg, is that sort of some clarifications, as an idea into the strategy for Collegeville? Now you can change up your cadence.
And I don't think they're necessarily on Moore. I don't know if they have any tells on him necessarily. I think Lancelotti kind of just ran into one there. It was definitely a missed pitch. Left an off-speed over the middle, or a slider.
See, my only thought was, I mean, obviously part of the idea was throwing off speed to Lancelotti, as the first 2 pitches were off speed, but Lancelotti swung about as hard as he could on those first 2 pitches, so my only thought was maybe that's why he was going for something. As Moore seems to be upset at something with the umpire.
Maybe just taking a breather, as once again the count's gotten to 3-1, so you don't want to say it's unraveled for him, but definitely a worse situation than it was, 3 minutes ago?
I think still
Maybe
less
5?
than that, but certainly much tougher situation.
That one fouled back. Will bring the count full.
Another big swing there, this time by Clark. So again, maybe there's something Collegeville like. Maybe Collegeville, I mean, this is their third time around. They always say that's when guys get used to a pitcher, so maybe they were just used to more.
Swung and a miss. Swung on and missed.
Guess not.
Got
that
Clark
used
right
to.
there. Another off-speed pitch. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Stay right here with us.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Bottom of the fifth inning here at Weaver Field. Tyson, we've got a good one. 3-3 in the championship, Game 3 between Collegeville and Lansdale. As it's Joey Lancelotti, who just about an hour ago made his pitching debut in this whole league. He's back out for his fifth inning, and I think he helped his cause a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, we said it earlier, we want an even game. Well, 3 runs, 5 hits on each side, 1 error for Collegeville, none for Lansdale. I mean, it's about as even as you can get.
There's a swing and a miss there by Cavagnaro. Reached on an error by the pitcher his first time up and struck out his second at bat. Here's the 1-1. That one chopped to the first baseman, and an easy play for Clark, 1 gone.
I mean, if you're Lancelotti, you'll take that every day, every single at-bat. I mean, it's about as easy of a play for your first baseman to make there, a high chopper, catch it chest high.
Brings up the thunderous bat of Anthony Bruno. Hit probably the longest home run of the last 2 games we've seen last night. Oh boy, that one high and in.
Yeah, maybe Lancelotti there staking his claim, saying, "Hey, you might be the big home run guy for them, but."
Call that a good old Lancelotti first batter of the game. Had 4 straight of those.
Yeah, he did. He did. Sure, Zunmeister will be able to be called upon as a witness for that one.
Absolutely. But we've really seen, I think, through both of these teams that one is hit on the ground.
So I think it hit off of
what happened there?
Lancelotti and
Yeah, I missed that
rolled
one.
to the first baseman.
That's something you don't see a ton.
No, I don't know.
Look at the replay here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he just rolls right to first base.
Slow roll to the first baseman.
Wow.
So 2 really easy outs. The first one, a chopper to the first baseman, and then you see right there, bouncing off Lancelotti. Clark barely had to move.
Do I write that down as a 1-3, or is that just a grounder to first?
I don't know if there's consensus on that. I guess you'd put it as a 1-3 because he's technically a participant in the play. I'll put it to you this way. If Lancelotti wasn't there, Clark isn't able to make that easy of an out.
That's true. What do you think, Gabe? 1-3? Yeah, you're gonna
Yes.
yes. I'm
It's a
gonna
1-3.
you know, you need a third opinion here. One of our cameramen next to us, so we'll take that.
That one is crushed. Deep center field. That ball is far, and it's a no-doubt home run.
Almost hits the tennis courts.
Chad Evans, an ambush. And it's 4-3.
There's anything you can do, I can do better. And, you know, Evans now able to put his name in longest home run. As you said, it was Bruno before, but I think that's going to be a contender.
Put it to you this way, it was a no-doubt home run in one of the deepest parts of the ballpark.
Absolutely. It's hard to tell. I mean, the distance between the tennis court fence and our fence, but in between there and certainly a bit to the left, so a bit more distance, that's certainly a far ball.
So 2 easy ground outs to start the inning. That's an ill-advised swing right there. Talk about easy ground balls. That's easy power by Evans.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a big swing. Only a solo shot, but puts Lansdale back up a run. My goodness. That was crushed. So 4-3 our score is Frank Pollock, of course, up. Down to his last strike already.
Good to see from Lancelotti.
Here's the 1-2. Lancelotti sets, throws. It's an instance there. He saw the catcher hold the ball a little bit longer, wanting to get that call.
Absolutely, but it's also good to see Lancelotti. I mean, he gave up the home run, immediately comes right back at Pollock. No fear.
Now the next one is drilled into left center and caught perfectly positioned. Was Nick Tadero in left field. Able to make the third out of the inning. We go to the top of the 6th, but not before a big fly by Chad Evans. He puts Lansdale up 4-3.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Welcome you back into Sports Fan Base Network. Top of the 6th inning, and Pete Moore still in the game. If he throws 2 scoreless, he'll end it, but not before. Oh, deep in the hole is the second baseman. Unable to corral it, as I was going to say, not before. He's going to face a base runner immediately off the bat to start the inning. Jensen.
I
Base hit.
think we can both agree that that's a hit there. I mean, that's so deep into second base.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if he feels that correctly, he's got to spin around and make basically a perfect throw. And
You heard me. I was shocked that second baseman even able to get leather on that. So already trouble afoot. Now we get some action in the bullpen for Lansdale.
yes, that appears to be number 28. That's Tyler Leonard. Started off in the semifinal
believe Tyler Leonard, the innings leader.
Yes, interesting to see them go to him.
Now the 0-1, that ball is hit foul into car territory, but I guess not far enough into the lot.
Say
I thought it was going over and into car territory.
It hit the net last second.
Yeah, it
so
did. Good for the net.
Good job by the net there, really defending those cars.
So keeping score, net up 1-0.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Now the 0-2 to Hutchison. Moore waits, delivers. That one's high. You got a read on the pitcher warming up here?
Nothing yet. I'll get back to you. Right now, I'm just
now the
making sure my
1-2, that one's swing and a miss.
Looks
Gonna
like a foul
say,
ball.
got a piece of it. Got a small piece of it. Our apologies, or my apologies. So new life for Hutchison, 1-2. And as Moore tries to put him away here, we got somebody warming up in the bullpen, so maybe this is not his game to finish. 1-2 again. That one is swung on, popped up to the first baseman. Will it stay in play? It won't.
Yeah, Tyler Leonard in the semifinals went, if I remember correctly, 5 innings, was relieved by Austin Dahl. Gave up, I believe it was 2 runs, but not a lot. And certainly that was the game where Lansdale had 19 runs, so sort of forgot in the lieu of all their hitting.
1-2 again is hit to center field, not very hard. Center fielder, shortstop converging. It's going to fall. Play at second base. Safe. It's a close play. Is Jensen able to hustle into second? I mean, it's a tough base running decision. You're between first and second. If you're Jensen, you probably think that ball is going to be caught. Not hit very hard.
And now you got a mound visit. Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, that is a tough place to be, but you can sort of see there's no real clear call between the outfielders and shortstop. And as someone who's on the field and definitely can hear that communication, he probably thought, okay, I'm not hearing anything, so I'm going to lean forward. And eventually, like I sort of thought, it was pretty clear Zinmeister wasn't going to catch it.
How good of a jump do you think Zinmeister got on that? I don't think the left fielders, that's a super tough play for the left fielder.
Yeah, Evans not really a chance. I mean,
but how much of a chance did you think Zinmeister had off the bat maybe of catching that?
I don't think much. Those plays, it's sort of the opposite with line drives. Line drives, you get so tempted to step in first, it flies above you. On those sort of pop flies, they get up high so quickly that you think, oh, I have to go back. And so you get on your back heel, and then you see it, and then you start to run. At the same time, as I'm sure Zinmeister has good jumps, sometimes in center field you have a guy who's fast but not quick. And so you can have sort of that issue where he can lose it on the jumps, but if the ball's in the air high enough, he can make up for it. And we sort of saw before with his close-down speed.
So Collegeville down 4-3, but in a good spot here. First and second, nobody out. They've hit it where the defense isn't. It's now a crucial at-bat for Lou Zins. Moore's pitched through traffic in the first inning. Hasn't had much since as he steps off here.
Yeah, I think Tyler Leonard, sort of intensifying the bullpen. I sort of think that might have been a bit of a stall pickoff there just to get Tyler Leonard more time without doing any damage.
That ball, a bunt down the first base line, waiting for it to roll foul, and it will. We've seen a lot of bunting in this series, and don't think you disagree with me. It's almost always been effective.
It's been very effective, at least on the Lansdale side. I think we've had one pitch. Certainly, I think earlier today we had a pitch, a bunt by Collegeville. Again, I just get worried with the lip, and of course, wood bats always harder to hit with than anything else, and can be very particular. So I imagine bunting is included in that.
So with the fouled bunt, an 0-1 count. And another attempt at a bunt. Moore tries to field. Runners all advancing. Play at third. They got him. You saw it earlier. I believe Lancelotti tries to go to third, the shortstop. or rather Lancelotti, who usually plays the shortstop as the pitcher, now Moore successfully able to get the out at third, the lead runner.
Yeah, and again, this is just sort of, again, personal philosophy difference between myself and the coach for Collegeville. Again, certainly knowledgeable guy, so I imagine he's in the right here, but no outs, runner on first and second, a good hit and then a blooper, I would think maybe you just keep the momentum going.
They're going to call to the pen. It's going to be it for Moore. A very solid day for him. He allows 6 hits, 4 walks, but he settled down as the game went on. 5 1/3 innings and 3 strikeouts. They're going to call to the bullpen. We'll be back, and we'll tell you about the new pitcher. Welcome you back into Sports Fanbase Network. Pete Moore going 5 1/3. But manager said that's enough. Tyler Leonard coming in. He's the call to the bullpen. Tell me about Tyler Leonard, Tyson.
Yeah, Tyler Leonard, so far combined 33.2 innings pitched. He's given up 15 earned runs. Regular season ERA of 3.07. In the playoffs, 3.5. But again, he did pretty well in his stint against Conshohocken in the semifinals. 4 innings there, and then was relieved by Austin Dahl.
So the batter is the left fielder, Tadero. A tough spot. Inheriting 2 runners is Leonard. He got 1 on first, 1 on second, only 1 out. So once again, Morris, he leaves the game. Only 3 runs on record for him, but 2 that Leonard inherits, of course, are his responsibility. So big swing right there by Tadero, fouled back. 1-1.
Of course, stat-wise, won't hurt Leonard too much for these 2 in particular to go in, but of course, not about stats. They want to win this game. They want to go up 2-1 in this series.
Leonard, of course, as we mentioned before, Pete Moore threw the second most innings this regular season, as that one is fouled back. Second most innings for Lansdale, but Tyler Leonard, he took home the crown. He was number 1.
It makes sense to me. Very stable pitcher. Doesn't get caught off guard by much. Doesn't get flustered much. And so certainly a guy who can give you a lot of innings really on any given day. Doesn't need necessarily his best day to give you 7.
More than stable. This is your highest leverage spot of the game. The 1-2, that one a little bit outside, I guess.
A tough take there by Tadero. A little surprised. Not swinging at that one.
Tadero's reached once. He walked his first time up. That's when Moore was having some issues with the command. The second time he popped out. Now the pitch fouled back again. Good at bat.
I mean, that's the thing. In the regular season, did not play the most games. Did not start the most games. Didn't really play the most innings.
Don't believe he started last night.
No, but he is someone who we even saw in the semifinals. He comes in as a substitute, and he has hit well, at least in these playoffs so far. And I understand why Collegeville has, entrusted him in this position.
Now the 2-2 once again. Oh boy, that one gets all the way to the backstop. Both runners advance and no chance right there for the catcher Greenberg to make a play. Boy, was that wild or what?
Yeah, tough break there. You saw it bounce from the bottom to the top of the backstop, and now we're going to get another mound visit. But,
Just talking about how Tyler Leonard going to use him in the highest leverage spot as the most experience in the regular season in terms of innings, but that's a crucial mistake there. Put 2 runners in scoring position. You go from a scenario where likely a hit ties the game, where now a hit at least one into the outfield likely puts you ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, now you just need a good deep fly ball. It's a tough spot for Leonard, but say there an advantage here for any catcher is the fact that this backstop is metal. Sometimes the ball can bounce back to you in a nice way. Other times, of course, as we saw, can bounce up at just about everywhere, as opposed to the padded backstop of Villanova and other maybe
MLB.
higher end fields.
Absolutely. Don't think Pete Moore like that either. He's hoping it's 3 and not hoping it's 5. Now that one got him! Oh, what a pitch by Leonard for his first strikeout. Tadero already walking towards first. Umpire says, not today, sir.
Yeah, and I think that's just too close for Tadero to take there. I understand.
He was sure of it, though.
I mean, he got a ball call earlier in a similar position, but again, high leverage situation, I think you just got to be more aggressive there.
Huge strikeout at the biggest part of the game. Brings up the 9th place hitter, Kevin Riley. Not exactly who you want up here. Riley hit into a double play his first time up. He grounded to third his second time out. So hasn't hit the ball off the ground, but now the biggest spot of the game for the catcher Riley.
Say maybe this is his chance.
Second pitch low. Leonard hasn't, to my eye, really had issue with command other than that one pitch that really got away.
Again, I mean, that's what you would expect from a guy who has the most innings pitched for a team like Lansdale, is that he has good command. He can keep himself in it.
As it looks like Riley went, but I think it would have been a called strike anyway.
I think he's got to swing harder.
Got to commit to it.
Say, no half swings here.
Bring it through.
Go for it.
Now the 1-2. Biggest spot of the inning. Biggest spot of the game for Leonard. Sets. Now here's the pitch. Fouled back.
And good piece to get there for Riley just to keep himself alive.
You can't stress how important this spot is. Base hit, the lead is likely in the hands of Collegeville. Get an out. That means Lansdale's still up 4-3.
That's the thing. I think strikeout here would be devastating. Ground out,
Or any
fly
out.
out.
Any out would be devastating. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed! Tyler Leonard! 2 strikeouts to get out of the inning. And Lansdale still has the lead. It's 4-3. Nobody happier than Pete Moore. Stays 3 runs allowed.
And great pitching there by Leonard and able to get out of just such a tough situation. So good on him.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
welcome you back into Sports Fanbase Network. Lansdale and Collegeville is looking a little bit dicey for Lansdale. 2 runners on, second and third, only 1 out, but a tremendous job by Tyler Leonard, their innings pitched leader, to get him out of it.
I mean, it makes sense. When you need the best, you go to the best. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this progresses with the series, as again, he's also one of their starters, but understand you got to win one game at a time, and so makes sense that you would consider going to your best pitcher.
Got a new pitcher on the mound here for Collegeville, so bring you Lancelotti's final line. 5 hits, 2 walks, through 5 innings, and he gave up 4 runs. Also had 4 strikeouts, but what part of the pitching line fails to mention is he also hit a home run, a 2-run shot. Counted for 2 of 3 Collegeville runs.
Yeah, so now Nick Tadero is going to be the one pitching.
Look at that.
For Collegeville.
So Nick Tadero into the game. I mean, this is something that we've seen Collegeville do time and time again. Have the pitchers do it both.
Absolutely.
A little bit of sidearm action by Tadero as the 1-0 misses, so make it 2-0.
And now searching to see who moved around. I imagine Lancelotti's back at short, which would move Luzin's over to second base. Tadero then on the mound.
Saw Lancelotti play shortstop last night, of course, pitching today and also hitting that home run. He's been a big part of the action. That foul ball makes it 2-2.
I mean, the best and worst part about being a two-way player is, you know, you pitch, you throw a good game. Doesn't mean it's over for you. Doesn't mean your arm has stopped throwing, and so it's extra wear and tear on those guys.
It was a good take right there. A pitch low. Now the 3-2 delivery is hit in the air. Shortstop calls everybody off. And it is the shortstop. Cole Luzin's making the catch.
Actually,
Or excuse me, that's Lancelotti, who I just mentioned, just checked in to play shortstop.
There you go. As I say, now we can confirm it. We see his number.
Turn his back to our vantage point. So 1 gone in the inning. On a routine play there. Brings in Matt Sperling, the first baseman. First offering to him's in there.
Yeah, it's interesting now for Lansdale, seeing a totally new pitcher. And so have to reset everything.
That one looked a bit low, but in there for a strike as well. 0-2.
Another personal bias here. Never liked the lean over from guys. I always feel it just makes it easy for umps to call a strike because they're showing, yeah, you could reach out for that. You just chose not to.
That one, a low pitch, hit into center and able to be caught. It was honestly an impressive piece of hitting by Sterling just to be able to get the bat on it. But a routine play and the catch made by Edgett.
And that's why a lot of coaches say, hey, you don't have to swing for the fences to get power. If you make a good enough connection, the ball can fly for you. And you saw it there. I mean, swung basically all with his arms, did not have any of his lower body, which is where the power is for baseball, but makes a great connection and, you know, gets it 3/4 of the way out of the park.
So Tadero efficient so far, no base runners allowed. Got the pop out and the fly out. Now it's the 9th-place hitter Greenberg.
Interesting there from Tadero. Doesn't really stop when he comes set. So it'd be interesting to sort of see how he deals with that with guys on the bases. I'm sure he has a way, but saw there maybe a little bit of a break. But
that ball is hit down the third base line, but foul. Anybody his delivery reminds you of? Maybe in the majors?
You know, I'm I've only been a recent baseball watcher, even though I'm a baseball player.
What
So
about Scott Efros on the Yankees?
I can't say I know
Former
who
Cub.
that is.
So that one is hit charging as the third baseman. A tough play, double clutched a little bit there, still got him.
Yeah, I think
Nice play made by Jensen. 3 gone in the inning.
feels like maybe the lip there got him a little bit off balance, but still able to make a great play. And now Collegeville's last chance to tie up or score enough to win this game.
Be back then. Last call for Collegeville when we go to the top of the 7th.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
The do-it-all arm, Tyler Leonard, coming back out to hopefully close this one in Lansdale's case. Leonard leading Lansdale in innings during the regular season. He came in during the top of the 6th and what's almost certainly going to be their highest leverage spot of the game, the highest leverage spot we've seen this series.
And arguably the season, of course, being the championship series. And so you imagine Tyler Leonard gets out of this one unscathed. Huge momentum shift to continue go to Lansdale.
Apologize for cutting you off there.
Oh, good.
Of course, a big thank you goes out to all of our viewers on Sports Fan Base Network. A bit of a quicker game, at least so far, than last couple of nights, as the first offering by Leonard's in there for a strike.
You know, everyone knows the quote, how can you not be romantic about baseball?
Absolutely.
One,
we got the
two,
top of the
three.
order up.
Perfect.
What a spot. So now the 0-1 is hit on the ground to the shortstop. Off a one hop, throws to second. Oh, the throw is off the line!
And no tag by first baseman, of course, that being Sperling.
Oh my
Gets
goodness.
pushed off the line. Yeah.
That was a bad throw by Mills on what should have been a routine play. It was grounded right to him. Hit as hard as you can ask for. Just enough to come right to you, but not hit too hard.
And I'm surprised because it's not like he was rushed in a double clutch or anything. It just came out the hand wrong.
So Feaster on his 4th at bat reaches on an E6. And a bunt right there. Oh, the third baseman trips, throws to first. Got the out. That one looked a bit dicey for a second, too.
Yep, but goes exactly how Collegeville wants. I mean, Feaster sort of hesitating because the bunt was in the air. But as soon as it lands and he sees he has to go, so then able to get to second.
And I think in a scenario like that, you almost have to hope for the bunt hit. Not a non-productive out. You move up the runner and you have 2 chances to get a hit here and almost certainly score this runner. But I would think you'd prefer to have all 3 outs at your disposal. That's just my opinion.
I think I agree with you, but at the same time,
that one is hit, I believe, foul.
I think it's
Never
caught.
mind. That was caught by the first baseman.
Say, it's tough. We have umps and coaches in the way, but yeah, caught by Sperling, sort of, again, making up for that error. And while I think I normally would agree with you on keeping that out, I mean, it seems that that's sort of Austin Edge's job, is bunting, getting on base, sort of doing the dirty work, as some would call it. And so maybe, again, with him in that role, that's just what they go for.
Yeah, and I didn't see that one was called. One of the easiest outs you'll see all game. I would have thought the ball hit to the shortstop would have been in that same territory. One that came right to Mills. Curious time for a meeting on the mound, though. It seems like Leonard's starting to roll here. But with a runner on second, maybe talk things over. A base hit here, once again, almost certainly ties this game, at least if it's one that's in the outfield. You have to be aggressive. Look at the third base coach here. This is the time to be aggressive with your scent. If it's a 50-50 or even a 40-60, you're likely windmilling around Feaster.
Yeah, and I'm looking at where the outfielders are, still kind of deep. And so there's certainly an opportunity with a good jump by Feaster to get home, assuming, the outfielders, it's not, on a Cespedes out there. Or I guess O'Neal Cruz now has the
Here's
highest
the
velocity
0-1.
throw.
Hit on the ground. And that one to the second baseman goes to first, and that's going to do it today. 4-3 is your final. For a second there at the start, it was getting a little bit dicey as Feaster reached. He's on base with nobody out, but not an issue for Lansdale as Pete Moore and Tyler Leonard combined for a dominant effort. Leonard goes an inning in 2/3. Don't believe he gave up a hit and, of course, struck out 2 to end the 6th inning. He saved the game. Pete Moore threw the bulk of it, and Lansdale takes a 2-1 lead in the series. Be back tomorrow night here once again at Weaver Field for Game 4 of the series. It'll start at 7 o'clock. That's all we have for you today here. Tyson Maddox, I'm Ethan Koppelman, along with Kevin Conley, our producer. We'll be back tomorrow night. Thanks for tuning in.